Alright, welcome to episode 70 of History Rewritten. First off, I'd like to do a short disclaimer about this video, because some people watching this might find it, what's the word they use in videos at school? Distressing, is that it? Distressing, because the thing about this video is COVID, but done differently and with actual plot importance. Unless COVID did have plot importance in our world and we just didn't know about it. However, I'll assume it didn't. It doesn't. This does though. Anyway, yeah. I know lots of bad things happen to people in COVID, and I'm not trying to understate that. These people died. I was there. That's crazy. I wasn't like 6 years old and born before that. And yeah, I know it could be a very sad thing for lots of people. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledged all those very unfortunate times that people have died to COVID. So I worded that terribly, but yeah. Sorry for all those people who this might make very sad. Anyway, let's get on with the video after spending 1 minute of saying sorry for what I'm going to do. China. Well, disease has just broken out in China that is decimating the population. And I mean decimating means 1 in 10. And yeah, that's about right. Not 1 in 10 dying, I mean more like 1 in 10 catching the disease and then being very ill. So this isn't good for the world, and especially it's even worse for the world because China is the #1 economy, the #1 exporter, the #1 importer. Maybe not, but like they're pretty big at importing stuff. Yeah, that's not good because they're trading stuff all around the world with Chinese ships full of people who might have this disease. So yeah, if we look at Chinese allies, we've got grey country, orange country, the bright red one, southern Taiwan, the northern Philippines, and I think there's somebody else somewhere. Is there? Hainan, there we go, Hainan. But Hainan's literally right here. So there we go. I mean, like other countries in the Chinese Economic Alliance, which is Dukes, they might have caught it too. And pretty soon, cases start to appear. Not really in the red country, because you're mostly in Tibet. But maybe in this bit, around the capital. But quite a few cases start to appear in these 5 countries, the Philippines as well. Yeah, they all start to catch lots of this disease. It also is here in Victoria, and it doesn't really show up in these islands, but yeah, in not too long it does, because they're pretty reliant on Chinese trade. And that's not good, because your population is very small. Other countries like the orange country and this bluish country over here, they're all going to start having cases, and pretty quickly this blue one does. This is very scary for lots of countries like Myanmar, who are basically surrounded by countries with cases, like the orange one, this blue one over here. Yeah, that's not good. Southern Japan will also have some cases of the disease too, and that's very frightening for the northern Japanese. You're not northern, these are the more northern. And Kyushu is going to isolate itself once again, like it's done before in history, and northern Japan's just gonna go scream, like, what do I do? Yeah, they're gonna go do that. So good for them. That was the correct response, I feel like. Also, this is not your capital city. So that is the Japanese capital changed. However, right, yeah, some cases are going to show up in here, especially down there, and these islands and stuff like that. Other countries who people are afraid of, such as this one, yeah, you might catch it, California, and especially Uruguay, is trying to have lots of action down here in this area to try and counteract these guys. So that's not good. Also, this Malagasy one, people are very afraid of, because this could definitely carry it all the way to Africa, a hugely populous continent, and that's very bad if it gets there. Speaking of places it's got to, Siberia has come up with a few cases. I mean, that's alright, because Siberia has no qualms with putting all the people with the disease in the middle of Siberian frozen hell to isolate them off from everyone else. So there's a few prisoners of war camps concentration camps, that sort of thing, that are adapted to put some people with illnesses in. So that's nice of you guys. And similar things happen in this country and Alaska. And the Great Country. Yeah. We have more events that are happening in the pink country, this purplish one, this greenish one, this other greenish one, the greyish country over here. And yeah, this is terrifying for people, as lots of people are dying from this, and they have no cure. And it's really disrupting these governments, countries, because people are annoyed at the governments, because like, hey, you can't fix my problems, and like people getting ill and being sick and dying and stuff like that. This isn't going right, and I don't think you're dealing with this right. I disagree with how you've handled this problem. I disagree with how you handled this. The workforce isn't working, and we're not having the same living standards because you're not trading as much, and I'm importing these things, and I'm losing my jobs because the people can't afford to pay me anymore, and it's all going down the drain at the moment. And East Asia is kind of falling apart, and then Korea's caught it, so that means all the Korean allies are going to get it now. This guy, you are a Chinese ally. You've got it. The fortunate thing is, actually no. I just remember that it's not fortunate. I was going to say the fortunate thing is you're a load of islands, and then I remembered there's only like a few islands where people actually live in mass areas. That's like this island. Like this stuff. That's literally it. There's no one else really. I mean, there's a bit down here. Yeah, but I mean, you've got to also supply the islands with like 50 people there. And I mean, you're gonna probably infect those 50 people. So these guys are all gonna catch it. They've already caught it. The Irish. That's no good. Ireland. If you take it from Fiji all the way to Europe, everyone is going to be very annoyed with you. Anyway, Victoria managed to spread it to New South Galway, so well done with that, and also to this country, which means that New Zealand has now come up with some cases, along with New Guinea. Yippee! The Chinese government is coping with it slightly better, because it seems they were more prepared. They possibly knew this was coming about, like symptoms and things, so they are actually more prepared than everyone else. However, no one else was really expecting this. The Chinese are going to try and send out more things to their allies, mainly the orange, grey, and red ones, because they're their favourite ones. I mean, yeah, don't really care a whole lot about you guys. So, there's that. I mean, there's also some stuff to the Malaysian one, because you're very important. Uruguay. You just had some cases, didn't you? So basically, all these countries have got it, and not you, I mean, these ones. You've all got the disease now, especially this green one. They've got lots of cases, and the brown country has just caught it as well. And now finally there's cases in the USB. And you know what that means? There's literally cases now in all of South America, especially over here. Yeah, you should have caught it ages ago, to be honest. Panama Canal stuff. Yeah, the Chinese use this a lot. So that means that the Central American Alliance has caught it, which means they sent it on to Mexico and the Caribbean, although the US was going to do that anyway. And then Mexico means these guys, and the Californians, and California already had a few cases, it turns out. However, they just kind of kept them secret so they could trade a bit longer, and now basically all North America is going to get it. Going over to Europe, Ireland has finally got some cases, and their entire alliance has got some cases now. Yippee. Going over to the Moroccan country, they finally have some cases. Their alliance and basically their sphere of influence, they've all got some cases now. Lovely. Algeria was laughing for a bit because their enemy had a very horrible disease. However, you've now got some cases of it, and it's in your alliance as well. Lovely. At this point, basically every country in the world has some cases. Like Switzerland and any other really landlocked countries? Maybe you guys? Probably not though, because you need support. So it would have to be like strong isolationist countries who haven't got any cases, and the only one I can think of is the Green Team, and you're not even that strong. However, you're not too self-sufficient either, are you? Anyway, you don't have any cases yet, so well done with that. However, it's only a matter of time. Like, if the Pink Team has managed to get it, you guys definitely will. Yeah. So what does this mean for various areas? Well, it means lots of people are going to be very, very unhappy. Especially in this great country over here in Mexico, as they have a huge civil war because the government kind of goes, I don't know what to do about this, and then they collapse. So, yeah. let's have a look at that civil war, shall we? As various groups rise up against the government and go, I don't like you very much because you're not fixing my problems. And that's just generally how it works. So here's the main bit over here where the capital city is. As for everyone else though, I don't know what to do. So which colours do we do? Colour number 1. Colour number 2. And no. Okay. Where's the hole in your borders? Where? There we go. Right. Could you please just So Civil War. What? There's a second hole. Oh, there's the back button. I understand. Oh, I get it now. So you press the back button, which undid the color, also undid me changing the border. That's crazy. So Civil War occurs in this area, and that's basically going to mean that all of these guys are up against each other. Your colors are much more exciting than this color. What are you doing? Well, nobody really wants to intervene in this because most people fighting in the Civil War have got this world's version of COVID. So nobody wants to really get involved. However, you are probably going to get involved. So yeah. Right, first off we have an encirclement occur from the Dark Blue Nation as they encircle this area of the Grey Country, and generally these rising up groups are going to kind of focus on this country. So that's what a lot of their troops go out from. However, the capital of the Dark Blue Country is going to be under siege by the Red Nation, which is not good right now. The Green Team, however, is going to go behind Red Team front lines and sneak towards their capital city and make a huge breakthrough because they're not. I mean, you're fighting these guys and these guys, so that makes sense. They even get behind the Red Team troops and take a hold of their territory, so that's very scary. You guys can definitely join this and get some free land. However, is it really a good idea for your populace? Will they support going to war when the army's probably going to come back with a really deadly disease? So yeah, the Grey Country is going to work against the Red Country in pushing back against these troops, so get that a crack. I suppose it kind of works, but not hugely. I think they must take this land from. I don't know. These borders are fluid. It's just rebellion stuff. So the Blue Country is kind of holding a good line, except for the fact the Red Team's taking your capital, so you need to push somewhere else, like the Green Country. So Blue Team troops will move behind the Green Team front lines, which is alright. However, the unfortunate thing is the Grey Team will take this territory back. And they're even thinking about starting a push into. I'm sorry, I just got confused for a second. Starting a push into the Red Team and possibly the Blue Team also, as the Grey Country will work together with the Green Team, although they're not fighting together, to take the capital of the Red Nation. So that's 2 capital cities taken, and now these troops are trapped. So you're going to take this bit. However, you will retake your capital city, which is nice. That's cool. The Green Country is going to push you guys back, and from here they also push into the Bluish Country. The Red Country is going to kind of fall into anarchy until you guys invade and take this part. However, it was at this moment they'd made a mistake, as they invaded into this peachish coloured nation. That was not clever. They're going to do that colour just so I don't get confused with that. And yeah, the peachish coloured country takes this as an act of war, because it is, and working with the bluish coloured country, they now announce support for. Is it like, let's work together, shall we? Yeah, they do that. Bam, bam. So the Green Country is out of this war, and now we look at dividing up these areas. So it looks something like this. So the Red Country and the Green Country are out of this war. However, look who else is about to make a huge mistake. The Grey Country is about to make a huge mistake, as they accidentally kind of launch an invasion, possibly into this city, and that really screws them up, because they're being occupied by you guys. You did not expect how much militia there would be though, so yeah, that doesn't go well for you lot. The blue country will try and lead an invasion back again. However, they only get a bit of the way before they're stopped. And in the end, this kind of just doesn't look very good, does it? Doesn't look good for anyone. Nope, not at all. The yellowish country down here is finally going to get involved, like I said they would, and they're going to take all of this stuff from the blue country, which kind of just causes a blue team frontline collapse, as you lot just take these two areas and your capital's taken again. We have this country kind of pushing through these front lines, taking this stuff from the grey country, which causes the grey country to go around. But it's kind of just them trying to get some land from this guy. But now the grey country's really built up quite a front line, defensive front line, which is nice. That's cool. I mean, you were brought into this by a war, which is why your colour's this bluish one. You guys do not have a military that's this strong, so it only stands to reason that you'd lose this quickly. And also, bam. Let's see what happens to your capital city. It's taken. Whoa, that's crazy. So now we have a load of rebel militia groups running around from this yellowish country, because the government did not make a clever choice, but they're very dictatory, so yeah, that made sense. They possibly just did whatever they thought was the best idea, which is not a good idea, it turns out. The greyish country will try and push around to take out these militia groups, and they do manage to cut off this entire bit. But yeah, they mess up again, because yeah, they move in to kill some of the militia groups that were kind of moving into this purplish country. However, they accidentally kill a load of militia people, but they also kill some purplish people. So that wasn't clever. So the purplish country is going to join this war, and this is very, very convoluted at this point, as purplish troops will join the war. Yellow team troops are going to kind of clear up this area. Do I remember what the old colour of this country was? No, I don't really. So you might get destroyed. Can I find it? No. So, unfortunate, you might not be the same colour after this. If you even exist, how about we look at a peace treaty though? Because I'd like to see some countries still exist. Grey country. What do you gain from this war? Well, you get all of these provinces. We're going to have a new country being created. And it's not any of the rebel ones, probably. But yeah, so this kind of just spread the disease around even more. And as people from like help groups, what are they called? Help groups? It's right there. It might kind of be. You know those groups you go around like when disasters happen and things? You go like, I'm gonna fix the problem and stuff like that. Yeah, we kind of have those people sending the disease back to their home country when they return to their home country. So maybe it wasn't the best idea to go out and help. I mean, like, that's nice of you. No, that's for sure. Was it a good idea though? No, not really. So the blue country is going to take a lot of land that was from the greenish coloured country. However, they kind of just assimilated into them at the end. The reddish country will exist up here. Yeah, you're not strong at all. And the grey country will be allowed to exist with this stuff and probably some more, because I imagine the purple countries are not going to take all of this. No, they took this bit. Yeah, so ultimately you lost most of your country, most of your economy, and most of your people, including like all the people who were living just in this bit. You lost most of them as well. What colour is this for? What was this about? Who are you? I don't remember. This isn't that good. But who are you for? Oh, was it this one? Oh yeah, I remember. Well, it's quite close to the colour of the little country that was down here, but it's not quite the right colour. Let's do this colour. Yeah, let's do that. That's near enough. It's still the same country. I mean, things have got worse now because everyone has diseases now, but it's effectively still the same nation. So there we go. And hooray for the purple team. You got some land too. And there you go, pick out a Mexican problem. Nice. Let's go to somewhere else, where people are for once not going to intervene. And that is Ethiopia, Eritrea, Ethiopia, South Sudan, sort of a bit. As these two countries are going to go to war again, hooray. The red country will lead an invasion, thinking that, I'm surrounded by people who are aligned with me, so they'll support this. But they don't really, because it's, actually, maybe think for a second. Maybe don't launch an invasion in the middle of a disease. A lot of your troops die when they go to, villages and stuff, so yeah, maybe not the best idea. So nobody really supports what they're doing over here, and all the Moroccans who want to help this country, they can't really. Because, yeah, your people are all going to die, and none of your troops want to go and die in Ethiopia. So, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah, they kind of have to at this point. Why do they have to do that? Well, the red country is now massacring all the people from the green country. So Moroccan troops and military equipment are going to arrive in the green country, and yeah, it's no good for the red country, is it? They get pushed back by the superior Moroccan forces, who are probably top 10 nation at this point, and they take the capital city of the red country, which then causes their red team collapse. Now they were an Algerian ally. That's the problem. So does Algeria send some stuff down? No. No, they don't. So, yeah. We kind of just have that proxy war end like that. In a Moroccan victory, I suppose, at the end. Yeah. That was an underwhelming proxy war. If only there was another one, which the Algerians had more of their attention on, because it's more of the people supporting them who are having a horrible time. If only, that would be quite entertaining, wouldn't it? But that's not happening right now. Also, this is your capital. Anyway, going over to the Orange Nation, you're having a civil war at the moment, and that's because your people are deciding which people they want to help them. They're in the middle of a crisis at the moment, and they think that people from the Algerian country can fix all their problems, which is possibly accurate, but not really. So this rebel group will appear, and they're doing pretty well at moving towards the capital city, and that might be because of Moroccan support, but who knows. So yeah, not Moroccan support, Algerian support. The Algerians are possibly, they're definitely sending a lot of support, because they've captured both of these major cities, including the capital city, and the Moroccans were not quick on this. So, yeah, the Orange team's losing a lot of land very quickly. So you need to help them, and how are you going to help them? Well, your allies in this area, you've got... No. You've got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. That's literally it. So, kind of running out of people who can really help in this situation. And send some troops in. How about the pink country though? So the pink country will send some troops from this major city over here. It's all really risky, nobody wants to do this. They're sending lots of threats. It's an extremely risky business doing this sort of civil war, proxy war things. However, these countries think oh well, I have the upper hand here because there's this big old disease going on, pandemic, and no one's going to stop me doing what I want to do because they literally won't. They have to keep fighting this. However, the pink country has just taken your capital city, so yeah. But you guys just complicated it, didn't you? Yeah, you just sent your troops in to take the capital city of the Orange Country, which the Orange Country take as a declaration of war. However, yeah, you just kind of move into there, don't you? So they took all those bits from the Orange Country. The Pink Country is going to move into this area. However, the Gold Country will come from the south and push up into these provinces too, which means that the Purplish Country is going to do that. The Orange Country isn't doing too well, especially since their new capital city got taken by these guys. And it's going to lead to pink team forces occupying the nation, or more parts of it. Yeah, we need some help, possibly. However, pro-Orange Team rebels will appear in the capital city, and they start to spiral out from here. They move into these provinces as well, as they're realizing that maybe this isn't what you should do during a pandemic. Huh. Who knew that maybe starting a civil war during the middle of a pandemic might not have been the best idea? That's crazy. This is completely unheard of. Maybe the people don't want to support you, and it's going to cause mass death. Yeah, and then the Orange Team rebels are going to do something kind of stupid, and they're going to go, hey, these people are killing loads of our people, and we're all dying. Morocco, could you just end it using one of those nukes you have? So this message is intercepted by the Algerians. This message was brought to you by Algeria. And Algeria's like, what the hell, dude? What? Oh, what did the Orange Team just say? And Morocco's like, I don't know what they were talking about. They could be talking about absolutely anything. And Algeria's going to go to China and be like, China, did you send them some nukes? And China's going to be like, yeah, so what? Algeria sent you some nukes. And the Moroccans are just slapping their face over and over again. Like, stupid, stupid, stupid Chinese. Why are you doing that? You gave us all diseases, and now you've just told them that we have nukes. And they have quite a lot of nukes. So that's very, very scary. I also made a list of where China has some other of their nukes, but they're also probably going to buff these supplies because they're not very big. So, yeah, I don't know. What the hell was that? I don't think I'm incredibly okay. Yeah, well, see what I had it down as is the bright red country had 10 atomic bombs and like 7 nuclear bombs. So it's quite a lot in here, and that's because you're over the Himalayas from this country, who's very threatening to these guys. The second most was in this country because you're in the middle of the ocean, and it's going to take quite a lot of effort to make landing onto the tiny islands where all of your nukes and atomic bombs are kept. Also, you can hit quite a few targets like this country, the Vietnam, and Sumatra, and these guys, and you guys. So yeah, and Japan, and Korea, yeah. And there's like a few in the smaller countries like southern Taiwan and Hainan. Like you both have, well, Hainan is 3, and you have 2 atomic bombs, along with Yunnan having 3 atomic bombs. That's all because you're very small and easy to overrun. I might increase those numbers. However, you're small and easy to overrun, so they'd get that, and then they'd find out you have stuff there. Because currently no one knows where China's got their atomic bombs, and if you have them in these countries, I know it's not strictly meant to have it in this country, because they're not actually your ally. I mean, they're your ally, they're just not they're not in your alliance. So, yeah. Technicalities, am I right? Well, this caused a whole lot of tension between these two guys. And Nigerians like, dude, I will launch my nukes on you right now. I will destroy these 2 cities like I said they would. And Morocco's like, dude, I've got more nukes than you. Yeah, take that. In fact, I've got 5 atomic bombs. And also 5 nuclear bombs. And that's more than your 2 atomic bombs and 1 nuclear bomb. And Algeria's like, well, dude, I've got 3 atomic bombs and 2 nuclear bombs. Yeah, I made this on my own. However, yeah, you're not going to beat how many of these guys have. And this is it's gonna so bad. It's gonna get really, really bad. Basically, this entire issue has blown over. COVID has now announced all the problems going on here in Africa. Yeah, it's not going well. So what's gonna happen with this? Well, you guys are allowed to take this bit of the country. What about this area? Well, it's going to kind of be partitioned between the bits that it wants to join, because this area is very undecided at this point. So we have something happening like this, where you guys will get this northern area, with the blue country receiving some land. Not a whole lot, also not very strong, so this is slightly helpful, but it's also mostly desert, so I wouldn't say it was that helpful. And the orange country will be allowed to survive with a bit of territory. Actually, most of the cities, if not all, no. They lose 1, but yeah, orange country still exists. Go orange nation. Also, your borders look better now, so I'd count this as a massive improvement. And then I think you're going to give this northern bit back to the Orange Nation. However, you'll keep the one with the city in it, because that's much more important than the Orange Team bit. But yep, there you go, that's how that proxy war went over. And the Moroccans also got this country to annex some stuff. Nice. Now tensions on these two borders are very strong, and I mean there's also lots of tensions on your allies. Looking at your allies again, what does that look like? Because, I don't know, I kind of forget sometimes. Your sphere looks like... It's not going to look like Christmas for a long time. That's the thing is, I'm kind of unsure where... Because, like, the South African sphere is kind of a bit like this. Why did I do... I don't know anymore. There you go. The South African sphere is like that. Your sphere is like this. The Senegalese sphere is like that. The Bengali sphere goes around like this. Just to overcomplicate it even more. Yeah, this red country is influenced by literally everybody, which might crop up at some other point during the series. Yeah, I mean, not you guys. Morocco has no influence over you. And as for, whatever they're called, the Brazilians, they have an influence that looks something like this, USB. So maybe you can't really see that, but there you go. Here's the main ones, and then this is Senegal. That's the main bit you need to know. Alright, great, so that's announced. Yeah, China's got nukes in Morocco, and they're probably going to send them to more people. Like maybe you, or California, or any of these other countries who they could possibly send them to. So that's very, very scary. Let's go over to Europe, though. We're going to have the Salmon Nation trying to work out how to deal with this by selling some land. I'm not sure that's the way to solve the problems, but they sell some land over to this greenish country. Hooray. You bought some land. Well done. Nice. And the Salmon Nation looks a bit sadder, but yeah. So who's actually working on a cure for COVID? A lot of countries. The Orange country is doing quite a lot. They're a very humanitarian country. They have a lot of cases though. The Lime team in Bengal are doing a lot. Korea is trying to find one, kind of, but they're also worried this is a Chinese plot thing, like to kill a lot of the world's population. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking that China manufactured this to kill a load of people around the world. And everyone else is kind of like, shut up, Korea. That's kind of stupid, man. So Korea is not being very helpful. However, like Bengal, the Lime team, Orange team, the Bengali Brotherhood sort of countries, they're working pretty hard on this. Western Europe's doing pretty well at figuring this out. Western European Alliance, the European Union's putting all this stuff together to try and get this done. Russia, you're not doing a whole lot, really, about this, because you're not a very medical advanced country. I mean, you kind of are, but like, you've got medical advancements and technology and stuff, but you haven't really made any breakthroughs in medicine. It's been other countries who've done that. As for America, it's America's meh. America's just like doing the basic stuff of trying to make vaccines and things like that. Anyway, eventually, over here in the Lime team, they will figure out a cure for COVID. I mean, they give you a vaccine so you can't catch it. So they do that. And where are they going to send it first? Well, they're going to send it first to the countries who are their allies. So Bengal and all the other countries in the Indian subcontinent receive this, so... all these guys will receive the vaccine first, and they find out it works, and everyone else in the world is like, dude, I need this. Except the Lime team's going to have to sell it to you for a high price. So, stonks Lime team. Stonks. Yippee. So they managed to sell this stuff around the world, and pretty quickly lots of the Lime team allies have got this. However, it turns out China has developed their own version of the vaccine, and they're going to distribute it around to this stuff. And it's going to kind of cause tensions, because China's like, you were copying my thing, you were spying on us. And the Lime team's like, no, you were spying on us, because your thing is literally identical to ours. And China's like, no, yours is identical to ours. We developed it first, we just didn't say anything. And he's like, no, we developed it first. And yay, tensions. This is definitely perfectly fine. So China's going to try and sell it to people who are allied to India to try and get them to be on their side, like Sumatra, who wasn't given it when they first announced it. However, Sumatra will buy it from the Lime team, and then they kind of have a fight over Africa, like who's going to get lots of this stuff. You Indians mostly get like these countries, but China gets lots of these smaller ones, poorer ones, and they're like, hey, look, we offer better benefits to poorer nations, like the West African ones who are all very, very poor and sad. So they're kind of trying to befriend all the outcast countries and the poorer ones, which is possibly a good idea. Because, let me share something, and then you're on me for talking. Yeah, African federationalism is on the horizon, and it's really exciting. Because we're going to have some huge countries in Africa. Basically, there's going to be some massive unions in this continent, and I'm very excited for that happening. Yeah, huge unions in Africa. It's very, very cool. That's what I'm looking for in the future, though. But yeah, eventually this vaccine will be dispersed around, and by 2021, it has disappeared. Basically. I mean, it's still in some countries, especially kind of like these ones. This is just so horrible down here in Mexico. I think I'm going to try and fix this in the next episode, this mess that we've created, because these countries should not and will not survive. Like, no. No. So, it's kind of a duty of all the stronger ones now, like the brownish one, the peach one, the purplish one, to fix this problem and probably get rid of and annex these countries. Maybe not the great country though, because they're like the rightful controls of this stuff. It's just that your people were extremely susceptible to this disease, so pretty much everyone got it, and then people died a lot more, so that made it a lot worse in the eyes of your people, and then they had a huge civil war. So maybe restore these guys, although they were very erratic and warry. So yeah, interesting stuff. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. Do you want to do one more thing? We could. Or we could leave it. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again next time. Yeah, let's do a tiny thing. Korea and China are going to have a proxy war, and it's not going to be a massive one, really. I just I didn't do a whole lot in this video. I mostly spent 8 minutes talking about people dying of COVID, which isn't a very happy topic. Maybe we leave it as a teaser for the next episode, so you really want to find out what happens here. As North Vanuatu and New Caledonia are going to throw hands. I've talked a lot about these countries in the most recent videos. It's scary. It is very, very frightening what these countries could be capable of. Basically, North Vanuatu will drain the ocean and give them a whole lot more territory. New Caledonia is going to do a similar thing using the orb of power they've developed. No, not the entire ocean. There you go. These two countries will annex all of this land, turning North Vanuatu into this massive subcontinent, and New Caledonia into a similar sort of thing. Let me prepare for the ultimate battle. Watch the next episode, next week, to find out what happened. I need help, like, serious aid. But there you go, this is basically what's going to happen in the next episode. Exactly like this. This is exactly how it's going to go. No, please don't keep your hopes up for this. There you go. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. That will be actually happening next video, except for the draining the ocean part. Yeah, and I will see you again next time. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.